Final match here for day number 1 on the Alpha stream. My name is McCormiel. Alongside myself is Cameron Siebert. And folks, unfortunately, the first match here on the Alpha stream, due to some behind-the-scenes stuff, is not going to be played. However, we are going to be bringing up the match from the Bravo stream to the Alpha stream. It's going to be CU Black, that is the University of Colorado Boulder, going up against Grossmont here in a Pacific Top Cut showdown. Now, for CU Black, they are second in the division as they stand 11-0 in Season 3 of the CCL. Grossmont, though, a hot 9-2. Nothing to be ashamed of and nothing to shy away from. They're 6th in the top cut right now, looking again to make it into that top 4 to get themselves an automatic qualification in towards that 25,000 high-stakes playoffs that'll be taking place during April 16th, 17th, and 18th. You won't want to miss that, and of course, you won't want to miss all the weeks leading up towards the playoffs. As it is the end of day number 1 here, though, it's the 11 o'clock match, the late night match, and thank you for staying up with us here on the East Coast. If you're over on the West Coast, how you doing? Good night, good whatever it is to you, and, well, we've got one more good match for you guys here tonight.
Maybe the start to the night over on the West Coast, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it's going to end in a nice way. We got two great teams going at it, and if it's anything like the first 2 matches tonight, the underdog would come out on top. I think Grossmont is obviously the underdog in this one. Colorado Black have had such a great season so far, and they are well polished in raid hardpoint, so it's not going to be easy for Grossmont to come out in this one. But I mean, it's similar to the first match we had tonight where Colorado Black hasn't been deep into a series yet this season, really. So if you can win 1, maybe 2 maps, if you're Grossmont, at least force a second hard point, maybe even you get to that raid search and destroy, you're going to be in a good spot. You're going to have Colorado in an uncomfortable situation. But from what we've seen on raid so far tonight, from what we know about raid hardpoint, rotations have to be huge for Grossmont. You got to be playing an extra step ahead, because if you get on the back foot, if you're the team trying to make the long distance run to some of these hills, it's going to be difficult to break. Garage, such a difficult hill to break. Kitchen can be tough. Basketball is another one. I mean, you can really string them together on this map. So I think if you're Grossmont, don't want to fall into the back foot here. You want to be that extra step ahead.
Well, Camber, we said in the first series of the day, that on raid hardpoint, it's usually going to come down to that last P5, P1 push between those 2 hills. It doesn't matter which set of rotations, it's just probably going to end up somewhere around there. And that's just something that's been well and true for raid hardpoint for God knows how long, and ever since it's been in. And hey, you know what? But if you've been keeping up with the power rankings, Colorado Boulder 18th ranked overall here in the power rankings for Season 3 of the CCL. So Grossmont stealing this series would be an upset, not just a technical like we've been talking about beforehand the last 2 series in terms of just overall map count and record for these teams. This would be a true upset, taking down the 18th ranked team in terms of power rankings. That's always updated throughout every single week of the CCL. However, folks, raid for the hardpoint, Miami for the search and destroy, raid for the control, Moscow for the hardpoint, and then back to where we started on raid, but this time for an S&D if we need to go the distance. 2 3-0s to start out the day here. Can we go ahead and get past a 3-0 inside of this last match? It's the 11 o'clock game as stated beforehand. CU Black versus Grossmont in a battle for the top cut in the Pacific Division. It all starts here now, folks. Map number 1, raid hardpoint, is where our destination is going to be taking us. A fan favorite from Black Ops 2 here in Black Ops Cold War. Camber, it's go time.
Yeah, and I've made some predictions tonight. I think this time I'll err on the side of caution. I have to think that Colorado Black will have this one where they want it. I expect a 3-0 win out of them. Already seeing an interesting reticle there on the Craig to start things off, but who knows? Maybe Grossmont can come out here and surprise us.
D-Nerf. Through the middle, towards Kitchen. Oh, QBC shots, just too crispy, too clean. He definitely warmed up before this series started because that was on point. That was a beamy, snappy little shot that he had right there. CU Black, they've got the first 20 seconds in towards the hill, 30 seconds left. They can get about 50 seconds on the point if they can go ahead and hold down the entirety of this point. Over towards the left side, it's going to be Juggers Pro. He's going to be able to find a kill. Nutter over the top, able to find one as well. Great stuff from CU Black here early on, 33-0, and continuing to grow as they got the rotations over to P2 as well.
Couple players on a streak. Actually, everybody so far on a streak right now. And if you can get something in your back pocket, it's going to be huge. It's a really, really strong start, though. 0 points on the board for Grossmont right now. You have to hope this rotation can come in crucial for you as you get your setup in place. Can you hold it down, though? At the back, it's Mr. Apocalypse. How about the read there onto Jokester? He's going to find one to start the push. 2 more kills come through from his teammates. Kinger's the last one. He falls as well. And it's just not looking too good for Grossmont. You finally get your setup in place, but it doesn't matter. A clean break from Colorado Black. You got streaks coming on for Mr. Apocalypse right now. This site, I don't even know what this thing is called, but I have to think this is not what he usually uses. Going on a rampage right now, though. Up to a 5-kill streak. Can he make it 6 or 7?
If it works, it works. He's got that kill there. He needs to go ahead and reload his weapon. He's only got 1 bullet left. The Diamante swap will come through. So in the kills with the Diamante, going to be able to go ahead and find that, at least for the time being. And again, a very unorthodox setup here with the Krig in hand, but he's got streaks. He's got the artillery barrage on a 7 spree here, looking for even more as this game continues on. And well, it might be one of the last things we expected, a player with that kind of sight starting off with streaks on raid. Hey, stranger things have happened, Cam.
Yeah, and I talk about how Grossmont needed to be the ones rotating and getting their setups in place. They've done that so far, but it just hasn't mattered. Colorado Black have the gun skill. They have the experience. They get these breaks time and time again. They do it again here on the Garage Hill. Now they continue to extend this lead. You see the push starting to come through from the pool side for Grossmont. It's not going to be easy, but you need to find some opening kills. And sure enough, 3 in favor of Colorado Black, so the hold will stay down. 30 more seconds to gain here. All of a sudden, Grossmont find themselves in a deep, deep hole.
Deep hole is an understatement here, Camber. It's already the 3rd hard point, and we already have a 100-point lead for the side of Colorado Boulder. It's difficult to go ahead and look at and really muster a comeback at this stage of a game, especially early on, however. The good news is, Raid Hardpoint is one of those maps that you can string a lot of hills together on. The bad news, though, for the side of Grossmont, that's what CU Black have already done here early on inside of this map, number 1. So, pushing around towards the back, they're going for laundry spawns right now. Nort, excuse me. So we have to find a couple of shots, but more importantly, VZ there on the D-Nerf will find that first kill. Here come the streaks, though, from the back, raining hellfire above. Mr. Apocalypse, well, he's going to start the Apocalypse on the side of Grossmont as they are now just getting cut down from every angle. 10-0 to start this game. Shots over the top. Why not make it 11? Can we go for 12? The unorthodox sight on the Krig, looking to go ahead and find even more kills. Shots around the corner. Gets them through. Isn't able to pick up the kill just yet. Still 100-point lead. Here come the streaks. Here comes the hold. CU Black looking to break in once again.
Grossmont have showed some signs of life here on this basketball hill. They're able to get themselves up over 50 points. Kinger is doing a big job here inside the hut, finding another onto Apocalypse to shut down the streak. And maybe that's what we'll call it, the Apocalypse site, because I haven't seen another player use that. He's had a lot of success with it so far. But again, Grossmont really starting to find something here on that basketball hill. They bring themselves back into this one, only down 70 points, but it gets pretty scrappy over here at P5. It's difficult to know where the spawns are coming through from, where these players are going to make their pushes. Now it comes through from the kitchen, comes through from pillars. They're able to get themselves on the point. Can they get the kills to follow? Glizok looking around for it. He's got some support from Rick VZ on the point. This is a good little string here for Grossmont.
I like that Rick VZ on the point. Sounds like a tagline for a beatmaker or a producer. Wherever you're from, if you want to go ahead and steal that, go ahead and take it. I'll let you have it.
VZ on the beat.
Rick VZ on the beat, you know? It's one of those things. Right now, though, it's Nort with the Krig shots over the top. RCVZ, though, going to go ahead and retaliate there with the 74U. However, I know the 74U is good, but I don't know why in the hell you're trying to challenge out towards that ring side with the 74U when you know he's got the QBZ, which essentially is the replacement for the M4 that might just be a little bit better than the M4 at times as well. So, interesting enough there. However, CU Black, although they lost a good amount of time there on that P5 and P4 to the side of Grossmont, they go ahead and find the scraps back. They'll try to rotate back their middle map and make a pinch play throughout this P number 1 hill. And now there it is. 5 spree there from Jugster. And the lead continues to grow.
Yeah, it's an 100-point lead as we get into our next set of rotations. I think for Grossmont, you had the rotations in check the first time around, but you weren't able to keep your hold together. So if they can do that here this next time around, they might be in a better position, but it just doesn't matter because the slaying power is so in favor of Colorado Black. 15-3 using that crazy sight. I don't know how you're doing it, because you're almost hindering yourself using that thing, but Apocalypse continues on a 4-kill streak again here. 7 for Jugster in a row. Colorado Black are trying to end this one soon here. They're going to probably have a chance to do it on the kitchen hill as Jugster continues to find time here on P1. It's only going to be about 20, maybe less seconds that they need in the kitchen hill to close this one out. If you're Grossmont, it's desperation time here down the stretch.
Well, you can't win off of this hard point. However, You can on this next one. Mr. Apocalypse there finds 2, looking for the 3rd around the corner. Stun out middle map, and that took one of the weirdest bounces I've ever seen for a stun in Call of Duty. That's just, I guess, what comes with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. However, a costly team kill potentially. Glizok trying to fly through the front door. Looking around the corner, it's going to be Jugster there. Finds one with the cruise missile. Another one there for Mr. Apocalypse, and that will very well do it. And money as well to go down. See you, Black. A dominant victory in game number 1. They absolutely wiped the floor with Grossmont. 250 to 84 is the score for our first game here in our first and last series.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of stress involved in that one for Colorado Black. Grossmont finds some time on the basketball hill, but in the end, it doesn't matter. Yet Apocalypse really just showing out so far in this match. 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the hill, using that crazy sight. Still able to get himself more than double positive. That's a really strong showing out of the gate for Colorado Black. We always talk about it, though. If you get destroyed in the first map, you still have a chance because the pace of play is really going to slow down when we head to Search and Destroy. Do you have the setups, the mind games that you need to win this game mode? And I think for a lot of players, they're coming from the Search and Destroy scene. If you want to compete in Call of Duty and you're not on a team or whatever, you're going to play game battles matches, you're going to go online and play Search and Destroy. Hopefully there's some experience there for Grossmont that they can carry into this one. Although it didn't seem too good there. Colorado Black, pretty dominant to start.
It didn't seem too good. However, opportunity in the S&D. And you mentioned it's a slow change of pace here from Hardpoint to S&D. However, it's an even bigger change of pace from Raid to Miami.
Yeah.
I don't think there's more of a drastic pace change that you could have on a map except maybe from Crossroads Strike to Garrison or Miami. You know, it's about the only ones. And folks, if you have not heard or you have not seen on the timeline today on Twitter or any of the announcement that Activision has made for the Call of Duty League, it is confirmed now finally that Apocalypse Hardpoint will be replacing Crossroads Strike Hardpoint, and of course Express S&D will be replacing Garrison S&D. We saw Garrison in our last Best of 5 series. It was a great homage and tribute that we paid to it with a nice 6-4 victory for one side over the other. But realistically, we're very happy it's gone.
It's a great change, and what really is happening is you're taking out Crossroads, you're taking out Garrison, 2 quirky maps that aren't necessarily traditional 3-lane maps that we're used to in Call of Duty, and you're adding in traditional 3-lane maps. You have Express, which is one in Search and Destroy that I feel like has so much versatility. You can go to either bomb site. You can really do whatever you want on offense on that map. You have a lot to play with. It's a big playground. And then you take out Crossroads, you add Apocalypse, another one where it's a 3-lane map. I really like the way that it rotates and plays around. There's a lot of different... I mean, I think an assault rifle and a submachine gun can be pretty viable on that map. From the scrims I've seen so far from the pro teams, every single one has come down to the final hard point. It's been close down to the wire, and I think as spectators, as fans, that's all we can ask for is to see close matches. Hardpoint on Crossroads necessarily not that. That's not always the case. So I think it's a good switch for both Search and Destroy and Hardpoint in this situation. I think we're going to be happy about it in the end.
Oh, as long as we can get a map to where we don't have to consistently change the point number 4 hard point at least ridiculous. 3 times on a map, I think we'll be in for at least a decent hard point map. And again, it's one of those things to where, you know, throughout the course of a year, this is what I would hope happens throughout a good majority of CODs. You know, at a certain point, even though the meta might change here and there, some GAs might come into effect. Realistically speaking, even though the game changes every year, there is a point where it does become a bit stale. And having new maps being able to fly into the rotation in and out, especially now that we've switched to a free DLC system where everybody is able to get the maps at the exact same time and it's not time gated for different consoles or whatnot. I do very much like this, I guess, change that we're making, even though it does have precedence to be changed into the game. And, you know, you would like to have those initial maps be the game or the maps that go and carry on throughout the entirety of a season. If there are maps that are added in the game that play extremely well and can provide a nice little meta change, I'd absolutely love to see that continue as a trend throughout the rest of the year because, again, it allows teams to then have more versatility with some of the plays that they might want to make. Maybe they're really, really good or tailors their play style really well and they try to play that new map or something like that. And, again, it just adds more for spectators to enjoy, more variety over the course of a year instead of it just being maybe a couple of guns that change here and there. And that's what makes Call of Duty so much different from other esports titles, and that's what makes Call of Duty so exciting for new fans and old fans alike.
Yeah, the variety is, I absolutely have to agree. And I also think too, like, to be listening to the pros is the right move. They know best. They play this game all day long. They're the ones who are going to know what maps are good and what ones aren't. So let them make the decision. I absolutely agree. And to be bringing in DLC maps is a good sign because we've heard rumors that Standoff might be making a return. And if that comes back into the mix, it won't even be up to the pros. Like, if you don't add that map back in, I'm pretty sure there's going to be people banging down the doors at Activision because everybody loves Standoff. Like Raid, it's just one of those classic maps. You have so much nostalgia. We've seen the big time plays. We've seen Big Timer nading the white van and capture the flag. Those kind of things just stick with us as fans of the sport. We want to see those maps return because they provide great moments. It's a no-brainer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're seeing here with some of these DLC maps. I was interested too, and I know the Control map set has been something that people are looking at. I didn't know if Express Control might come into the mix, but apparently it's just going to be Search and Destroy. I haven't played it in Control, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's a symmetrical map, but it's one of those maps that doesn't play necessarily great when it comes to the Control mode. But ladies and gentlemen, all that talk aside, Miami S&D, Colorado Boulder Black. Well, they've gotten themselves a nice little lead here with a 1-0 series victory, and more importantly, a 100-point club victory inside of map number 1. Here in the S&D, they're looking to go ahead and right their wrongs. Well, very, very minor wrongs, as Mr. Apocalypse over the top with that 74U somehow is able to go ahead and beam RCVZ up top, and that's something you don't see every day. An SMG player playing all the way back on that angle, being able to beam over the top, and well, Glazok's going to be playing this one slow. Mr. Apocalypse is there, and well, he's going to find that kill. And again, a very unorthodox sight on a very interesting weapon at a close range. And this guy, man.
Mr.
A gift.
Unorthodox UP for underpowered is what it should be, because he seems to be testing himself with these reticles he's throwing on, not the ordinary stuff. Sure, you might see some players with a red dot on their 74U. Maybe he's a trendsetter. Maybe we'll see everybody make the change after this one. And I mean, honestly, he might have made a believer out of me in the first map. I might be testing out the sight he was using on the Krig. As it comes down to one player left here for Grossmont. He has a kill so far in the round, but he's not checking his corners in the back of the alleyway. CU Black have a good setup and already down there, and they get the kill. Nice showing out of them in round 1.
Nort. Some nice shots there onto the Jokester. Little Krig in hand. They take an easy round number 1. 2 versus 1 at the end of the round there. Allow CU Black to go ahead and take that first round of the game. So let's be ready for round number 2 here, partner. Colorado Black, they're looking good. They're looking feisty, and they're showing out. And, of course, proving why they are 18th ranked here inside of the CCL Season 3. But one thing I want to highlight, Camber, as a lot of these teams might have been undefeated beforehand or have a very, very good record and might not be ranked, this is going to give them such a great opportunity to finally get themselves in the top 25, because beforehand, you know, you could just leave it up to strength of schedule and whatnot, and that's how they made the power rankings. But as you get into the top split, if you are in that top cut in split 2, then you start talking about, okay, they're undefeated and they're now beating very, very, very good teams that are around their skill level or better. Maybe it's time to consider them as one of the top 25 teams.
Oi, laddie, I have to think you're correct on that one. I'm not even going to continue that because that's just terrible. I'm cringing. My hairs are standing up in my arms with the cringe. Well, you throw out the Texas accent. I felt like I had to do something, but I'm no Miles Ross here over on the Alpha stream. Mr. Apocalypse is last alive. Finally has a normal reticle, and he's going to make use of it. Finding the first kill, you have to think he's in a pretty good spot to make this 1v3 happen as he repositions himself. He's got Jokester up top playing the corner. That's going to be his detriment. Grossmont find a big win there to tie things up. They try to go over to the beach side and make a push on offense, but the defense is ready for it. A big-time play. Got a Kinger here to draw first blood. And I'll stop with the accents. That'll be it for me. I mean, anything you can do.
He knows when to show defeat, folks. That's what he. That's a true man right there. He knows when to show defeat. But Grossmont, they'll take a round win here. They'll go ahead and tie things up 1-1. So S&D, maybe their strong suit here. Colorado Black, on their back foot, just a tad bit though. On the offensive side, they weren't able to get much done. They've won their defense. Both teams have won their respective defensive rounds thus far, though. So now we'll go ahead and watch this. It's going to be Jokester looking over towards A. Doesn't see the cross, and actually, I think it actually might have been Jokester who gets around through the back line. He's got a little bit of one RCVs. He's there. You got to hit your shots, brother! You got to hit your shots, bro! Oh, Jokester somehow doesn't get it. Glizok is there, and he'll fall. That was perfect play style, perfect placement. And that's when you got to tell your teammates, hey, pull up the scoreboards real quick, boys. Just pull up the scoreboards.
Oh,
we don't want to see that on screen.
The Jokester's on the other team. he's the one right now that we're watching, he shouldn't be missing those shots like that. That's just going to prove to be detrimental as his team falls behind in this round. Now all of a sudden it's 2v2. And I mean, wow. I mean, how do you come back from that? You got to have some kind of composure. Finally, though, they're getting towards the bomb site, and they have to start to think about planting this one at A. Maybe time to rotate to B. Here comes the challenge in the back from Kinger and Nerf. His teammates there to find the kill. Norte last alive. He puts down some shots. His position's well known. He's going to try to rotate around.
Sneaky.
The stun as well is going to help. 9 health points left for Norte. He's got a player pushing him out. It's not going to be easier. The shots are good, but Kinger able to clutch it up there. Grossmont win 2 straight, and they get a big one there on offense.
Let it be known, folks. Undefeated teams always have a weak spot. Always. No matter what they are or how they play, they always have a weak spot. Right now, Grossmont has exposed that 2 rounds in a row on the side of Colorado Black. They have not been able to go ahead and take those easy rounds that we at least saw in round number 1. And you're able to win 2 in a row. You got a little bit of pressure. And again, it definitely comes down to a little bit of an oiled thumb. Slipping and sliding across the screen, not being able to hit shots when you have a perfect flank set up. But, you know, again, we don't judge here. We don't discriminate. We're just here for some good Call of Duty, and well, there goes Jugster. 2 kills, trying to make up for the unfortunate plays that came through from the last round. D-Nerf is going to be able to spot one in the middle here. One-on-one gunfight. Jokester around the corner, ain't able to win it. That's going to be Mr. Nerf. There it goes.
Able to answer back.
Exactly.
Big time stuff, and you have to think, if you feel like you're in a good position to win a game, that might be the time to practice some of your unorthodox strategies. Maybe a situation where Colorado Black could do that, but Search and Destroy is definitely going to be an interesting game mode. Grossmont have just as much a chance to win this game after winning those 2 rounds. Don't want to throw this one away just yet, but I will say it does feel like Colorado Black are kind of easing back in their chairs a little bit and trying to have some fun in this one. But don't sleep on Grossmont right now. Still have 2 rounds under their belt. Rick Veazey needs to get on the board. That's going to help them a little more here. But now you go back on offense. Maybe you leave the A strats where they were, and you start to think about going back to B. And right now it looks like they'll be playing a first blood if they can find it. Jokester trying to watch the cross. Player's going to come right into his sights here, but the slide for Jugster is huge. Finally going to put some shots down. Able to tag up Jugster, but he's getting out with his life. He's got players wrapping around through the garage. Is he going to be ready to pick up the flank? He's got someone pushing his steps. Big kill from Rick Veazey. He gets off that goose egg. And now control of B site is in favor of Grossmont. Rick
Veazey. He's got a kill. And now he's got to defuse over towards B. 4 versus 3. Colorado. They've got to go ahead and find this retake now. Pushing back over towards the point. Player number 5, Mr. Apocalypse, playing over towards the docks. Nort's there. Gotta go ahead and find the kill there on the Glizok. Will fly away. Now pushing back over. It's going to be the Krieg shots that don't prevail. The 74U comes through fast. 1 versus 3. Was almost able to pull it off beforehand. Didn't do it before. 20 seconds left up top. Jokester's there. Apocalypse finds the player. Now just has to play a little bit more sneaky, but he's got to go. He's got to play these kills. However, the trade comes through instantaneously. Grossmont, after losing 1, bounced back with another. Seems like it's been a common theme thus far. Can they go ahead and win 2 in a row here and continue the theme that we've seen all game long?
Yeah, and you kind of see what I'm talking about there. Colorado Black not taking these guys seriously in some of these rounds. They push right up through the top of Piano. It leaves a huge opening on the backside for Grossmont to get into B. It's exactly what they do. They get the life advantage. They get the bomb down, and they play the time really, really well. Now they go up 3-2. I think eventually there's going to be a point where Colorado Black starts to slow things down and play more methodical, but so far, I mean, they've left some openings, some big openings that Grossmont's taking advantage of, and you can't sleep on this team. Search and Destroy is the game mode where both sides have a big opportunity to win it. It's not necessarily heavily favoring either one. Grossmont all of a sudden up 3-2, but can they keep it going? Can they sustain this success through the first couple rounds?
Well, he's back, folks.
Oh, God.
He's back to the Krieg. And you already see the shots come over the top. Who was hit by 2, wasn't able to find any more. However, we've seen Jugster Pro play out here all the way towards the boat dock, and this time actually hits some shots. So there we go. Was able to go ahead and keep his aim completely steady, and that's what will happen when you pull out a Krieg. The gun that does not move, reminiscent of what we saw in shades of the ICR from BO4. Over the top, Nort with the Krieg, looking for a couple of players. You're going to see a lot of Kriegs here in Miami, folks. It's one of those maps where It's very easy to go ahead and find yourself those first picks and first bloods, especially if you're playing over towards that AS&D site with those Craigs because of the variability that you have with those long-range gunfights. Jugster looking for Rick Veazey all the way back over towards that lifeguard post. To be able to find those initial shots, however, Kinger is there looking for another player. Jugster's got to push up quickly. Jokester finds him, though. Now, another 1 versus 3 situation. First kill goes through. If you're on the side of CU Black, you've got to push, but if you're on the side of Grossmont, just run away. Just get the hell out of there. Play your life. Don't come close. No need to worry. No need to push, and that's exactly what they'll do. However, Jokester, not exactly sure why he decided to even jump over that wall. You're just feeding kills to a player that could potentially get streaks further down the map. Okay, I mean, not opposed
Couple
to
lives
it.
in
But
favor. Maybe just check the bomb to make sure he's not on it there at the end. But
yeah, I mean, I guess, but it
risky
is risky.
stuff
I agree.
either way. And you got Grossmont though taking advantage of some. I feel like some
Lost my
mistakes
damn
from Colorado Black. They're a little hesitant over there towards the beach. They get near that boat, and nobody's kind of making that next push that needs to happen to kind of further yourself in the round. They just kind of get stuck there, and Grossmont's taking advantage of it again. They close in from all sides. They pinch. They pick up the kills. Now they're up 4-2. I don't know. All of a sudden, it seems like everybody's sleeping on these guys. They're about to come back and win the search and destroy, which would be huge in this series. It's not necessarily going to be over just yet. When we get into this second split is when really both of these teams are going to start to kick up the intensity.
Folks, if you've been here all day, Cambert might have just jinxed the cow there. CU Black, unfortunately, well, they might be in for a little bit of a comeback treat now because, as you said right there, Grossmont, well, Cambert said they might go ahead and close this one out, and although RBBZ goes ahead and finds a shot there, it's a little bit easier. 3 versus 3 as we go. Jokester, 7-4 here in the game, a game high, 7 kills for that roster, and well, you'd really like to see some of the players maybe on CU Black turn it up just a bit. I mean, really nobody truly underperforming, just relatively not great games from all around. And as I say that, make it 7-4 there for D Nerf, 3 in a row. And it's going to be Jokester with a great little Semtex over the middle that takes down Nort. So now we're in a 2 versus 1. Jokester, he's there, finds the shots around the corner. However, there it is. CU Black take the round. And, well, Cambert, there it is. The caster's curse coming straight from the gift horse's mouth. What do you have to say for yourself?
It feels like they can just kind of turn it on with the flip of the switch. I mean, whenever there's a round that they really want to win, they kind of focus up a little more, slow down, start to hold some more angles, and they're able to pick up the kills. I think if you're Grossmont,
sorry.
I guess I'm sorry. But the curse hasn't completely struck its course just yet. There's still time to close this one out. You still got Apocalypse using ACOG sights on his SMGs, so maybe there's something that could still happen here for Grossmont. But you're right. There's not necessarily one player for Colorado that you could point out in this one. Everybody kind of throwing in their 2 cents. It's a team effort right now for both sides, but you got to win an offense here all of a sudden. We'll see if they focus up and try to go back to a more strategical setup here that they're used to.
Well, there's that first blood. CU Black. You said they have a switch that they can just turn on at any point. It starts with those first bloods. Jugster with some great shots over the top, isn't able to find the kill. However, on the opposite of the map, it is going to be D Nerf with a 4 spree now, looking for another kill here with a Krig. Oh, a little bit of a pre-aim there, almost able to find the kill. Unfortunately, the COD timing doesn't come through. So, technical trade does come through there. D Nerf streak will come to a close. The CU Black streak is just starting to heat up. Grossmont now, 2 players left alive. Norton middle map, looking for a couple of players, maybe rotating. They've got this bomb in middle map to make this rotation all the way over to A, and this could be great because RC VZ and his teammate and Kinger are both in middle map, or at least over towards A, looking to make this rotation back over towards A. They're going to start moving now here. The bomb is going to go down, and look who's in middle map right here. Not great timing there. Nort's going to fall. Kinger with 2 in the round, looking for potentially 2 more, and of course, the retake over towards A.
Got to try to rotate from B to A here. If you're Grossmont, Rick Veazey. Good job to play the life. Get some help from his teammate. Huge stuff. In terms of team play there, Kinger finds the kill onto Apocalypse, and it's all up to Jugster now. Last alive. He's got some plays to make here, though. Only 20 seconds left as these guys try to get towards the bomb. The shots come through. And there it is. The flip of the switch. Jugster with the snaps. Finds 2. Closes out the round. Despite it getting close there, Colorado Black bring this one back to 4 apiece.
I love that right there. At first, he takes that long-range gunfight with the 74U. Methodical, because if he doesn't get that kill first, he doesn't know if he has a Krig, doesn't know if he has an M4, anything like that. It can get beamed instantaneously from long range. So by going for that player that's at the far range first, and then being able to instantaneously chow back for that second player who's up more close to that player, It just allows for a much easier 1 versus 2 gunfight, especially since, we're playing on Miami with one of the most open map designs of any map here inside of the game, at least over towards the A site. So we love that. We love great plays, and we love instantaneous reaction time that is able to win you rounds. When you're smart like that, usually it's going to net you a good positive behavior little thing, and Mr. Apocalypse, he just sees little jokey boy up top, sees that little head peek around the corner. Nort and Nate will find the shot. And we'll stop that now before it gets out of hand.
Was that another accent? I didn't even...
I don't know, brother.
Was that spoken language? I couldn't understand that. I'm certainly not trying another accent this game. I'm leaving that in the past. 4-4, though. This is a big-time round for one of these teams if they could win it. Turn things towards a closeout situation, and neither team yet to lose a life. Both trying to find this first blood, and for the offense, a decision has to be made soon on which site you're going to try to attack. Nerf, bad timing, but Jokester unable to finish it off with the shots. It's going to be some information that there's players home at B. Finally, first blood drawn by Norte. Got Glizzok going down. The bomb's in a tricky situation. He's going to try to sneak over to A. A teammate finding a kill, and this could be an opportunity to plant here for Rikvizi. Apocalypse makes it 3v2. Jokester and Rikvizi, as the bomb goes down, will be the last ones alive. Trying to make things happen here for Grossmont.
Jokester over the top, the last one alive in a 1 versus 3. However, finds a shot there onto Mr. Apocalypse. Nort gets some shots tagged up onto him as well. Now knows the location of Jokester that Semtex isn't going to be able to hit home. Jokester around the corner has to either challenge the player over towards the site or go back over towards and find the kill. Oh my goodness, he's shooting body!
Yeah, that was a little bit rude, but hey, we're used to seeing it here in the CCL. We talk about the split takes place, how much more is on the line, and these guys obviously showing that, the competitive nature coming out from Colorado Black there. And it's a tricky situation when you're down in a 3-1. I mean, you know that there's going to be a player defusing. You got to try to play for that kill, and that's just what was detrimental in the end. The life advantage in favor of Colorado Black. They make use of it. 5-4 now in a closeout situation. They've thrown the fun and games out the window. Now they're all business. They try to close it out here in this last offense. It's not going to be a hit to A. They're going to take this thing straight to B.
That player that shot body right there at the end of the round, failure, but Nort finds the first kill there on the Kinger. RCBZ there, a kill on the Nerf. Don't ask me why I keep doing these accents. It's almost just natural at this point. And, well, there it is. 1 versus 2. Glizzok at 6 and 7, the last alive, and Mr. Apocalypse will find the kill. CU Black win 4 rounds in a row after being down 2-4. They've got a 2-0 series lead right now going into the control, looking to go ahead and close this one out after a very long and drawn-out Miami search and destroy.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that these guys have the skill and the talent in their favor. They've got the movement. They've got the shots. Doesn't matter what kind of reticle they're using on their guns. As Norte there in the final kill cam closing things out. They flipped the switch there after going down 4-2. And they're able to close out the Miami search and destroy. We had to raid control. You have to think it's only favoring Colorado Black in this one right now, but never want to count out a team by any means. We like to root for an underdog. Raid control is one that it's going to be favorable for offense and defense to try to win a round, so we'll see what exactly takes place. Can Grossmont make something happen here down the stretch? Our final match of the night, I'd like to see it. I'd love to see Raid Search and Destroy, but it's looking kind of tricky. We'll head to a break. Grossmont, a time to gain some composure, get some water, some G Fuel, whatever you need. And when we come back, we got Raid Control. Don't go anywhere. Final matches of the night here on CCL.
Well, if you like best of 5 series and you like 3-0s, you're in the right place here tonight. As the first 2 series here on the Alpha stream were 3-0 and a 3-0, and this one, well, it's looking like it's shaping up to be potentially a 3-0. However, Grossmont's not out of it yet. We won't go ahead and say anything of that sorts yet, but folks, welcome back. It's week number 7, day number 1 of CCL Season 3. My name is McCormick. Alongside myself is Cam Burton. Well, we're going to be on a raid control for what could potentially be the last map here of the night. The side of Colorado Boulder Black, looking to finally defeat the side of Grossmont in a 3-0 sweeping fashion. We've had a lot of brooms tonight, and, well, why not make it one more?
Grossmont, 5-1 on raid control. Colorado Black, 8-1 in raid control. We'd like to root for an underdog. If you got a rally cap out there, go ahead and throw it on to try to give all your power to Grossmont, because they're going to need it going into this raid control. It has not looked too good for the first couple maps. Pretty dominating performance in map 1 on the hard point. The Miami, it looks close in the scoreline, but it felt like Colorado was kind of giving him a chance to hang around in that one. Saw some body shooting take place too, which is just Oh man, that's tough to see sometimes. Definitely a little bit rude out of the side of Colorado Black, but you gotta understand it, right? It's just competitive nature as we go into this final raid control. They'll be trying to close things out in handily fashion, 3-0 in our final match of the night. Hopefully Grossmont can make it interesting though.
Well, at least you didn't give him the bag, because that is so just uncanny to what professional players should be held to a standard of. Glazok up top. RCVZ finds one. However, trades go back to the side of Colorado Boulder Black. And they've got 2 ticks almost over towards B. RCVZ trying to hop up. Some high-fire shots there from Mr. Apocalypse. Goes ahead and finds himself at 2-0. And well, this is looking a little bit reminiscent of what we saw on map number 1. 7-0 for the side of Colorado Black when it came to Mr. Apocalypse. And trying to go ahead and find it once again. But is that 2 sticks here within the first, what, 30 seconds? The same
Some
guy?
People are just magnets to the Semtex, naturally. And right there, yeah, already 2 of them coming through. I mean, this is an opportunity to grab B. They'll take it. They're going to try to push through the back, you would think, here, as they got the control of basketball court. Glizok coming through mid. It's not going to matter because the push, again, coming through the backside here from Colorado Black. It's going to make things tough on the defense here to try to figure out where the push is coming through. Got to know that the spawns aren't going to be in your favor. You're going to be spawning deep, as you see there on your mini-map, and these 2 players are still in kitchen. You got to figure this out and get these kills.
Glizok finds one. RCVZ in the middle. Mr. Apocalypse is there, and well, that's no surprise. 2 kills go down, and there's Nort to go ahead and find the last one. D-Nerf is there, and just like that, 4 down. Snap of the fingers, and they're back to the respawn block. Everything and everyone from the side of Grossmont withering away at that bastardly snap. And as they've got everybody stacking the point now, 2 ticks looking for the 4th one, or the 4th one, the 3rd one as well. I can do math. I'm a caster. See you, Black. Round number 1. Offense has been won. And that was easy.
Yeah, just kind of had it on cruise control there. You're able to grab B first, and then you push through the backside towards Laundry. Makes it difficult on the defense to know where anybody is on the map. And you see it there. Jugster finding kills in mid. Colorado Black have it on cruise control right now. I think if you're Grossmont, you try to make things tough on them. You try to mix it up and throw a wrench in into the side of their setups. I don't know how you can really mix it up, though. I mean, you have to take them head on, and that's just not working. I wish I knew what Grossmont needed to do here to kind of get this win, but it just feels like the odds are too heavily stacked against them.
Right off the rip, 2 go down. Looking for a couple of more. See you, Black. We've got some trades coming through from the side of Grossmont, though. However, that's going to be 4 down. Fortunately enough for the side of Grossmont, they've got players back to middle map on the respawn block fast enough to go ahead and start re-challenging. And that's going to be player number 5 in towards middle and RCVZ, looking for that first kill from a player maybe pushing out of kitchen or trying to play over through water steps. Right now, though, they've got 3 players over towards A. They've got the kills. And now this is the point where they can go ahead and potentially start to stack this point. RCVZ on the flank looking for a kill there onto D. Nerf. Doesn't know that player is down to the right. However, Will now gets the shots and his teammate will help out. That's 2 down for the side of Colorado Black. Grossmont's got a little bit of time here over towards A. More importantly, they've got about a tick and a half of progress, looking for a little bit more as RCVZ finds one there on the jump.
A little bit of momentum. The lives pretty even right now. You got a second tick coming through on A. Jokester finds another at mid. That's going to really open things up. This should be the opportunity to capture this first point. They'll take it. Grossmont going to extend the round. You got Rick Veezy pushed out towards Laundry, but how about the presence of mind coming out of Colorado Black? They're not even going to send anybody back over towards A. Instead, they put their setup down. They're just going to hold on to these positions. You see it on your mini-map. It's such a perfect setup. The first 2 kills come through, and all of a sudden, the spawn's now going to be deep for Grossmont. You got to start back at square 1. You're seeing how this is a power-ranked team for a reason. Colorado Black, with all the composure after losing A first, they're just going to go ahead and set up, and it's not going to be easy to grab B if you're Grossmont.
Well, Glizok looked at one of the areas correctly. However, it's going to be Jugster who goes ahead and gets the best of the Grossmont roster as he finds 2, looks for a 3rd one as well. Pre-aims the door, but isn't able to get the shots off just in time. The reload came through and the animation took hold of that gunfight for the side of Colorado Black. However, pushing up in towards the kitchen, it's going to be Mr. Apocalypse who takes on RCVZ. The trade comes through. Nort's there to go ahead and find 2. Helping shots there from Jug as well. So now back over towards the water we look. 5 lives separate these 2 teams. However, the side of Colorado Boulder Black do have the advantage once again in terms of life counting. Well, when you got a team kill coming through like that and you're already down a couple of lives, that just dwindles them down even further. Jugster finds 2, technically 3 if you want to count his teammate, but unfortunately this basically is going to just kind of leave things at the end of the road. However, all right, there we go. shots don't come through because he doesn't have any bullets left in his gun, you know? Great. It's great.
Yeah, definitely going to help to have bullets in your gun. X to reload, and 3 lives left for Grossmont. It's not looking very good compared to 11 for Colorado Black. Talk about how they just have this one on cruise control. They're not even looking at the road at this point as they continue to cruise through this one. Final life goes down. Colorado Black go up 2-0, looking to close this one out. And at this point, what was that other match we could have had? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's just tough for Grossmont. I mean, there's not a lot of opportunities to make something happen. You have these guys. They are so they're so cohesive. Like, they lose A, instead of continuing to push it, they rotate back over to B. They get their setup down. There's just nothing Grossmont can do at this point. It's tough. You hate to see it. I wish it were a closer match. I wish I could have more things to say for them. I think Kinger has to step up a little more. 4-15, obviously, is something that's going to jump out right away, but it's just a matter of one team with more practice, obviously, more experience, and they're just coming out on top. I think for Grossmont, you just look for something to take away from this one, some kind of positive, some learning experience, because it's not looking like you're going to come out with the win.
Cameron Siebert, I love you.
Yeah,
you make me giggle. You make me cackle. I love you.
They've gotten everything out of us tonight. They have chicken noises, aggressively violent sayings like Miley Cyrus on a wrecking ball. I don't even know. I'm jaw dropped over here, and I'm used to it hanging out with you, Corn.
Oh, jeez. Oh, when you put it like that, Cameron, I mean, Jesus. You know, you're getting me a little bit hot and bothered, just like the side of Colorado Black is done so far, and folks, it's not stopping. Nort finds 2. RCBZ able to find 1. No jokesters there, so now we rotate back over towards the B site, and it looks like it is going to be another CU Black push over towards the water side. Glizok, Kinger both find a couple of kills. They don't want this to end just yet. They want a fighting chance to go down with here on the defensive side. Folks, it's time we go ahead and find ourselves back in towards middle map. Slow, steady pushes over towards A. It's already been controlled, an extra minutes on the clock. However, Grossmont down by 2 lives. This is where things get hairy, and this is where things could see that broomstick coming out. Sweep up the remains of what's left in the kitchen.
Yeah, and you see how every time Grossmont start to get a little bit of momentum, they start to piece things together. That's when all of a sudden Colorado Black hits a long route, does the unexpected play. And it has to feel like you just can't do anything right at this point. The timings are kind of bad right now for Grossmont. Jugster's back here, not even thinking about getting on the point because he's such a nuisance to the players coming off spawn. Finally, Kinger gets that kill. That's going to be huge, but he's got 3 players to deal with already at B. Actually make it 1. Mr. Apocalypse last alive. Crazy sight versus the regular one, and Kinger gets the kill. Okay, maybe not over just yet. Still, though, continued pressure from Colorado Black is not going to make it easy.
Nord trying to push through. 5 lives remaining for the side of Grossmont. Jug escapes with his life in middle map. Nobody from kitchen trying to push out just yet. Kinger finds the kill. Pushing into the kitchen. It's RCBZ there. A weak chow is not going to be a great one. However, it is going to be RCBZ who pops out. 3 go down, though, for the side of Grossmont. 2 lives remaining. They've got to push in quickly. Now just a 1 versus 9 to go ahead and do it. Can Kinger pull off the impossible? Shots around the corner there on a Nort. Won't be able to find the kill, and that's going to do it. Number 18, Colorado Boulder Black are going to stay not only undefeated, but they're going to go up another spot here inside of Split 2. The top cut is looking like their home, and more importantly, they're looking for not only that top 4 spot, but that automatic locking into the $25,000 playoffs. It's looking great for them so far. 12-0 here inside of Season 3. And they are here not only showing why they are ranked number 18, but they want challengers, and they want them fast. They want this committee to look back and say, you know what, we deserve to be higher than 18. We're beating great teams within our top cut. Put us up to 15th. Maybe knock UTD COD Orange back a little bit. Who knows? Or knock UTD Orange back. That Mr. J Pistachio guy, what does he got on us? Nothing at all. Nothing.
Pushing the buttons, I'm sure, a little bit. But no, yeah, I think you're right. And you might have to reevaluate the position for Colorado Black after the performances they've been putting on. And if it gets to a serious time with the split, they still don't let the pressure up at all. Sure, you saw some moments where Grossmont and the Search and Destroy, maybe at times in that control, started to piece things together. But just when they do, Colorado Black just puts the foot back down and closes that one out. It was really cruise control, like we said, handily fashion. Not a whole lot to it there. They get the win in the final match of the night. Got to give them credit. It looked really good from start to finish. I look forward to seeing them down the stretch when they get against some tougher competition, what that's going to be like. I'm sure everybody watching is ready for that stuff down the stretch, for the playoffs and for when things get real. But it was real tonight, no doubt. The vibes were for real, and it was a lot of fun. As always, McCord and Meal, I look forward to more casts in the future. And hopefully we can maybe one day we'll see a map 4 or a map 5. My goodness.
Yeah, maybe. Well, folks, 3-0s all across the board here today on the Alpha stream. And as Camber said, it was an absolute pleasure being able to sit here alongside of him. And it's Vibe City every single time we're sitting down and sharing the mic together. However, as that concludes the matches here for tonight, that also concludes week 1 here. Or not week 1, rather. It concludes day 1 of week 7. We're far past week 1 at this point. We are in split 2. It's week 1 of split 2, so you know what? I'll give myself a little bit of leeway there. But either way, let's talk a little bit about scheduling for tomorrow. Day 2 here of week 7, and that on the Alpha stream is not only going to consist of some great matches, but we have 3 more absolute bangers on the table for you. Starting off at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, you've got the E4 Knights going up against Bama Crimson. And then at 9:30 Eastern, you're going to be having Purdue Gold going up against SIU Red. And then finally, to kick off and end off the night, Purdue Gold once again will be taking on Illini Orange. So you've got 3 great matchups tomorrow on the Alpha stream. The Bravo stream is also going to have 3 incredible matches going on as well. Split 2 is going to be promoting the best competition we've had all season long up to this point. And as we continue to get further and further towards that playoff start, I can promise you one thing and one thing alone, that these matches here in the CCL are going to continue to kick up. Folks, April 16th, 17th, and 18th are the dates you want to watch out for playoffs specifically. However, Mondays and Tuesdays up until that point, we'll still continue to have college Call of Duty going on from 8 to 11 o'clock Eastern every single night for those 2 days. So you don't want to miss any of the action that we've got going on here. Shout out to the production, Benji, the GOAT. As always, my name has been McCormiel. Alongside myself has been Camber. That's going to do it here for day number 1 of week 7. We'll see you here tomorrow for day 2 as split 2 continues to start and heat up.